Hello, orchestra students. It's your favorite teacher, Miss Vitites. Today's lesson is called How to Turn a Hot Mess into a Productive Practice Session. To start with, that's better. So for stage one of how to turn a hot mess into a productive practice session, you need to follow two basic steps. Number one, get your materials organized. Before you start your practice session, make sure you have all of your materials. So, you've got your weekly practice spots, your concert packet, and your class book, and a pencil, in case you want to make any changes to your homework while you practice. Step two is practice your fundamentals. If you want to get the most out of your practice session, you need to start with the basics. So always take time to practice your bow hold, your left hand shape, long tones on your open strings, and then your scales. Let's make a couple of quick bow holds together just to make sure we've got it all right. So we're going to start with our bow. Let's make 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now double check. Does your bow hold look like mine? You have a nice bent thumb and a curved pinky. Are your fingers nice and rounded over the stick of the bow? If yours doesn't look exactly like mine, keep practicing this step until you feel comfortable with a bow hold that looks like this. So your next step is getting your violin or your viola up into playing position and practicing some left hand shapes. So we'll start, get it tall on your shoulder, and check to make sure you can hold it comfortably with no hands. And then to do this together, we're just going to set our left hand. So let's do 5 of these. 1, and as you can see from my 1, my wrist is in a nice straight line all the way to my elbow. And then when I drop it down, it should be the exact same shape when I put it up. So let's take a look from the other angle too, just so we can see. So I've got a nice bent thumb. I've got space in between the bottom of my hand and the neck of my instrument. I'm not clenching. I'm not doing this. And if you have any of these problems, stop what you're doing, drop your hand down, and do it again. So from this angle, here's the next one. You can see still got a nice bent thumb. And I'm dropping it down again, coming back to the front side. Let's finish it and do 2 more. 1, 2. Now notice when I put my hand in its left hand shape, I'm making an effort to put all 4 of my fingers down. You're going to get the most out of setting your left hand if you have all 4 fingers down. Because what this helps you do, especially with pinky, is if your pinky is down, you are forcing your hand to turn toward the neck of the instrument, and it's going to give you the nice shape of the hand that you're looking for. So if we just did this, you can see, if I go a little closer, my hand isn't actually facing the strings. It was flopped out to the side like this. So if I turn my hand and place all 4 of my fingers down on the string, my hand must go into the correct shape for that to happen. So our next fundamental skill is long tones, where we take each open string on our instrument and practice producing the most beautiful tone we can using long, straight bows, full tone, and good sound. So I'm going to do 4 bows on each of my open strings. I'll do the following order: A, then D, then G, then E. And as you watch this video, study the direction my bow is taking, study the speed of it, study whether it ever changes lanes or doesn't stay straight. The answer is no, of course it won't. I'm perfect. But you can also test your own playing for those exact skills. So let's get to it, starting on the A string. So hopefully if you're watching this the first time, you can see that on each of the levels of my bow, the angle of my bow adjusts to stay on a certain string. Also, I'm always making sure that my bow is in the middle of the C bouts here, and that the bow highway, which is between the fingerboard and the bridge, that I place my bow in between those two spots. So you can do as many of these as you'd like, as many as it takes for you to feel comfortable, but don't forget this fundamental tone developing step. And I'm sure by now you're like, okay, Miss Fo, okay, when do I get to play? The answer is right now. Now we're going to take all of our fundamentals and start with a D major scale. Now the rhythm I'm going to use for this is the rhythm we've been doing in class, where we start with half notes up and down, and then quarter notes up and down, and then we finish with eighth notes up and down. So I'm going to play this first for you just so you can see what it is, and then we'll do it again so we can do this together. All right? So I'm going to give myself a count off in quarter notes just so I know exactly how fast my half note should go. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, so you could have done this with me if you wanted. You could have watched it the first time. I'm going to do it one more time, and this time I'm going to keep the counts for you as I play so you can hear this while you practice the scale with me. All right, same pattern, same scale, D major. Half notes first. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Going to quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to eighth notes. 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So once you've practiced all of your fundamentals and you are good and warmed up, now it's time to take out your practice spots and start looking. Ooh, those are backwards. Ooh, guess you can't read off of mine. Anyway, you'll look at your practice spots and start going through those. So think about what were some things you might have struggled with in class. What did Miss Fo tell you to have ready for tomorrow? And start checking things off the list. But only do that after you've done a good solid warm-up. Bye!